Yeah. Cool. Oh, good. What, you have a topic you want to talk about?
I'm excited.
Okay. What are you excited about?
I'm excited about expansion and about, that podcast that you did with Mr. Penn. I think definitely last week definitely had an impact. Are we already started?
Yeah, we're starting.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Because you don't usually say welcome to something.
Yeah, welcome to the show. We're here.
Okay. All right. Well, so the fact that he grew like 30%, right? Was it 35?
Yeah, 35.
35%. So huge. And
He's a baller.
Just from
Shot
following
caller.
following the exact strategy that you were telling him about
I know.
the year prior. And
It's quite sad.
no, it's beautiful. It's
Yeah, of
so
course,
beautiful. I'm so happy about that for him.
But I mean, on our side.
I know for us personally, yes, for sure that we didn't have that same growth. And that gave me a moment to reflect on what we had done over the past year and what were our downfalls and what we could change now and what we are changing now to make it so that this year has an incredible growth and expansion.
Yep.
And I do believe that with what we have lined up right now, we literally have like 40 plus new products on the pipelines right now. I just believe that it's going to go crazy.
Yeah, and in terms of SKUs, it's hundreds.
I know. But like actual parents.
The mother
SKUs.
the mother ASINs. It's true, there should be mother ASINs.
Because the mothers are the ones that have the children, not
That's
the dads.
It's true.
Anyways.
So, I mean
birth.
agree.
I mean birth, okay? The dads definitely have children.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Nowadays, both. But anyway.
Oh my gosh.
So here's the thing. Yes, I believe it's time to go crazy, and we can. And I've put a lot of attention on acquisition of kitchen. I've been talking to a lot of kitchen brands, potentially do acquisitions, and they don't seem that attractive when we have products that we can take out that are going to have a way bigger return, I think, than buying.
Yes, and I'm so excited about some of the ones that we have in the works that we're literally developing ourselves, and I just can't wait. I do at the same time think of our failures when I'm thinking of how excited I am.
Ignore it.
I'm like, shoot, because we did this cutting shears. Remember those? The cutting shears.
That's true.
We invested, I think, like $5,000 or 10
$10 grand maybe. Yeah.
On these,
they were
on the
really
mold,
good, but it sucked.
On the mold for those cutting shears, and we were super excited about that, and it was going to be like the best thing since like whatever, right? And then it flopped. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, it's hard. You have to just shut it off.
Yeah, those shears.
Negativity, no negativity.
The thing is, they last a few months and then they started breaking. So they were actually very good, and then we were taking market share. It was going to be top, and then it crashed. So we didn't go full. Like what happened is we stopped halfway. There's hey, excellence and a fantastic product, but if you make something that looks nicer, it works pretty good, but it doesn't make it all the way, and then you get bad reviews, that product will never make it. Yeah. So the solution is to not do it, because we should do it.
I know. Then we
to
stopped.
go all the way.
We should have persisted at that time.
Yes.
We didn't persist.
We should put that product back on the
You know
pipeline.
what? You're right. Because actually, those shears were amazing, but they had glitches. They had some glitches.
I know, it will break
all.
after a few months. The whole thing will break off.
But that piece should have been fixed, and we should have just invested another $8,000 in a new mold, and then we could have been hitting gold. So we actually didn't apply our own things that we follow, which is persist.
That's true.
So we need to do it also ourselves.
Okay, so are you going to take the kitchen shears project?
Yeah, I'm going to go talk to them about it after this. So then I won't ever think about that negative failure.
Yeah, we're going to fix it. If we fix it and we get
it.
I think we can have the top. So scissors that market has a huge margin. Because the scissors really only cost a few bucks to make, and the price range. People sell them from $7 all the way to like $30, $40, $50.
I know, and if we made an incredible one, we could sell it for $30 because the one that we were making was like fully
No, it was
stainless
amazing.
steel.
It was so
It was
amazing.
such a good high quality scissor. The problem is that it broke, so then it wasn't such a good high quality scissors. But very good scissors in the kitchen is a huge button, at least for me, because when I'm in the kitchen, I want to be able to like cut whatever I want to cut really easily, and it needs to cut really well. Otherwise, it's a problem. I don't need something that gives me a problem in the kitchen. So, okay, good.
Good.
We'll
So then
get
when
that
we
one
fix
handled.
the kitchen, when we fix that, are there any
But
other
anyways,
ones that
what
you
I
feel
was
that
saying-
failed? Do you have any
No,
other
no,
ones that you-
that's the one that I
the
have
only
the
one?
most
attention on?
Yeah, except but I am excited about the two that we're really like
But
developing
sorry,
right
but
now.
what about our drain snakes? You think those were amazing?
Oh, but that's not really something we developed. That was like really we just ordered something off the shelf from China, and
But
it was
you're not
just
worried
put
about
it up.
things like that? Like
No, because we have a totally different strategy now.
Okay.
It's not the same.
Right.
The strategy we have now is completely different. That was the dollar store strategy,
We did that for a while.
and we're not doing that.
I didn't think it was bad.
Anyways,
just-
we're in the
yeah.
present.
Can I talk about adding products?
Yes.
The reason, okay, a brand is supposed to represent something. So Zulai Kitchen is supposed to represent cooking, kitchen, family, greatness in the house and cooking, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, we kind of made this like Zulai Home thing. And even Zulai Home potentially could work. But the problem is we went really on like the deep end and did some really random, totally
Butterfly
random-
stickers?
Yeah, like...
I think we even did
but the
reorder
drain
the little
snakes, what about the drain
Starry
snakes?
Night.
I know.
I think we even reordered them.
Yeah, thing is sometimes they'll sell, but the problem is that you're building something that are you going to service a customer base with more things that they want? We did a survey to our customers and asked them what do they want us to make. The number one item that they actually wanted, do you remember?
No.
The Dutch oven. They wanted us to get into cookware and like bakeware and all that stuff.
Oh.
Number thing we wanted. And then we haven't done it. So when
But
there's a
we
product
tried.
that's-
We failed last year.
No,
We did it.
we never did a Dutch oven.
What is the Dutch
It's
oven?
kinda like a big pot.
But I thought that
big
big
pot.
convection oven that we did.
No, that's an appliance. It looks more like a cast iron pan, but deep.
Oh yes, that
Like the
thing.
deep
The
dish.
I have one. It's in cast iron.
Yes,
The circular pot
Yes.
that has the lid.
that's right. That's called the Dutch oven.
I guess it's because it can go into the oven.
Yes, I guess.
Okay.
Anyway, that was the number one most requested item from our people who buy from us. Number one.
Shoot.
Guess it. Did we make it?
No.
No. So when we have customers that
didn't
literally
even know about
we
that.
made
I
a
didn't
survey. We asked our
realize.
people,
I forgot.
hey, what would you like us to add? And they told us. And then
So
we
the
got
number
lost
one
in
item was
selling
Dutch oven. How many
Yes!
people asked for a Dutch
It
oven?
was a lot. It was like, we didn't survey that many people, but it was like dozens of people that asked for a Dutch oven.
Out of how many surveyed?
A few hundred. Like, I don't know, less than 1,000 maybe. I'll have to show it to you. I'll put it up.
I want
I'll
to
put it
see
up.
that survey.
I'll show it to you. We can even do one again.
Yes.
We have a lot of emails.
We should. That's a great idea.
It's a great idea. And we did it, and then we didn't follow through, so we never did it
So
again.
it's
because
probably
we
going
never
to be,
made it.
and it's probably going to be different answers now too, because it's like 2 years later.
Yep. But the thing is, because our brand has customers, they have people that recognize us, people that trust us, we should be servicing them with more stuff. There's some book that some guy wrote one day, forgot the name of it, but it was something like, imagine if you had, let's say, 1,000 customers, right? And you could never get more customers. How would you
Ooh.
operate your business?
We would have to service whatever they wanted, those 1,000 customers.
And if you run your business like that, you have the funnel where you can always keep servicing your customer throughout their journey and provide everything they need. And then if you do that, then boom, now you have 1 million customers and like, whew, crazy.
Well,
But like,
that is a concept.
What is everything? Like, imagine we have 100 home chefs or restaurants or whatever. We have to service them. And we can never get a new customer. We can only have to service those guys. We have to give them everything they need.
Right.
And if we do that, then they're going to love us forever. They'll be paying us a lot. We'll be giving them a huge amount of value, solving all of their pain points, continuing to innovate for them. And then imagine you expand that out to then all the customers that we have. So you just take that idea. Anyway, so one way to do that, of course, is, well, what does this person need in their kitchen? And we ask them, and then we can go through that whole cycle with that person. So I think it's a powerful idea.
Yes,
And I think we really can do that.
I agree.
You know, what do these people need? And let's give it to them. So when you're adding products to a person that's not your customer, You're trying to do all this random stuff. You don't have what's like a brand. It's not like, hey, we represent quality kitchen utensils, quality gadgets, quality appliances. We don't have an identity if we're just going everywhere and we're going to sell like this freaking microphone and sell a table and sell makeup and like we don't represent anything. And there's no customer who's like, hey, everything I need, I'll buy from them. Right? There's people that their kitchens, they have all the gadgets, all the stuff. Well, if we really did a good job, they could just get the stuff from us.
It's true.
And not have to shop. But like, I'm not trying to then sell the person the makeup. They're not going to buy like Zulai makeup. It's like, it would make no sense. So the problem is we're missing out on like that customer loyalty and customer like, and ourselves learning about the products. If we learn all about stainless steel, all about silicone, all about this, and then all our products use the same materials, we're going to be good at it. We're going to be good at that because we know about it. We don't know anything about like makeup, for example. So that's one of the big things why our strategy failed in the past is because we didn't double down on our specialties and double down on our customer. What do they need?
Right.
So now we're doing that, right?
Yes. We're working on it. Well, we need to survey them.
Yeah.
And find out what do they want? What do they need?
Yeah. But for sure, if we at least are in the kitchen, that's the first step.
That's
which we've
true.
already been doing that.
Yes.
Now we're like focusing hard on kitchen.
That's
I mean,
true.
the market is so big.
It's huge.
So big. Shark
It's
Ninja
limitless.
Alone, Shark Ninja alone does 1.5 billion per year. Do you know that?
Nope.
They do blenders and vacuums.
Wow.
That's it. I don't know if it's like half. I don't know how much is blenders and how much is vacuums, but I think there's at least 500 million in like blenders and juicers and convection ovens and stuff.
Wow.
That's huge. That's
That's
massive.
huge.
So it's like you don't need to go anywhere else to expand, unless you're like Uline. They're at 6 billion. Okay, yeah, maybe they need to expand their market a little bit because they've done everything you need for the office. But even them, if you've seen that catalog, I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's huge.
Every single thing that any business will need in any moment.
I remember when we got that catalog in the mail and you were like, oh my gosh, Uline, look at this. All these SKUs. Look what they're doing.
I'm rehabilitating that moment right now.
It was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Why don't we have a catalog like that for everything for the kitchen? Every single gadget, like literally make kind of like the Uline catalog, but for kitchens, for restaurants, for everything, and just like you can order absolutely anything. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Eventually, one day, I'm sure we'll get there.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Everything that you need. And if we don't have space, I think what they do, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think they carry stock of every single thing in their catalog. I don't think they do.
I don't know.
I think they might order like some items. They just make it so abundant, and when they start getting orders, they start importing it. And some of the stuff, like they can just airship out of China, and they don't need to have stock of absolutely everything in that catalog. I don't know. That's my guess. So if you just be like,
it's possible.
You take a supplier, you add all the different types, and boom, you get an order. Minimum order is X, and you can always like buy it at that point.
Yeah.
You don't need to carry stock on absolutely everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's an idea. So adding products is a big piece, but also getting people to like know what they're doing is very important as well, right?
Yes.
Because we have the same. I mean, one other thing from that Mr. Penn interview, I think I had like 40 staff, all overseas. Isn't that crazy? Both Jabran and Urshad have their entire teams overseas. It kind of is like a bit of a wake up call, I guess. But I don't know. It doesn't mean it's the only way it could be done. Mike Beckham does everything U.S. and he's I think he's in the same level as Jabran in terms of profit. But it's just different. We're kind of halfway in between them both. Which is fine. I don't know. You think it's a problem?
I don't think it's a problem.
No. Yeah. So do you think it's easier today to be successful than, let's say, like 30 years ago?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like zero doubt.
Why is that?
Because I feel like there's so much opportunity. Now we have the internet, the computers. We're in such a fast-paced environment where I guess there's kind of like the situation currently where we have such a little amount of attention span compared to what was the previous attention span that a person had. I just feel like it's getting less and less and less over the years. But I do believe that it's more possible now than ever before to be successful if you just stay at it, because there are so many opportunities. You can make your website, you can go D2C, you could do what is the amazing, what was
Amazing
it?
Selling Machine?
No. The couple that
The
you
drop shipping?
interviewed. Yes.
Yeah.
What were they?
The drop shipping.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they did drop shipping, and their story was incredible, right? Or you can do funnels. You can do Amazon, and you don't even have to have all the inventory or anything like that in your own house.
Yep.
So, and there's even like buying in the store and reselling. We tried that too, right? We went to Target. I think this was like 9 years ago when Luna was a baby.
That was terrible.
We tried it out. It was
terrible.
drop shipping, buying products and then reselling. So that was interesting. But we did definitely test out like selling on Amazon by doing that. There's just a lot of different availability of opportunities to be successful.
Yeah.
I mean, even on social media now, people are being social media managers, charging $3,000 a month to be a social media manager, which if you have, let's say, just that alone, 10 clients, and it doesn't even take, you can do 10 clients. That's 30. What is that? $30,000 a month.
Yeah.
$3,000 each, $30,000 a month right there. So I think
I've gotten quotes from 2 different people at $30,000 a month for one person.
Right. I mean, wow, that's huge. I guess those are for very established companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's higher ones. Probably, I don't know, if someone says, hey, I've done Kim Kardashian's videos. Give me $100,000 a month or something.
Right.
I remember we had that one. We were driving to the next Growth Conference.
I remember that lady.
And I think her name was Mandy. And she did the whole pitch and this, and we do that, and blah, and we're going to do it $35,000 a month. What? I mean...
And you were considering it.
I was considering it. At the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even social media management. I'm saying you look, wherever you look, I feel like there is an opportunity to create some kind of a business in.
It's true. And what about the fact that people are a lot less driven today than they used to be? Do you
Yes.
think that's true? Do you think that people are less driven today than they were?
I think that they're driven, but they're driven on a different area of their life. And it's more driven into the attention is more on social media rather than in reality in the in right here and now. So
I mean, I agree. Like nowadays, it's crazy. If you go back to like Rome or like anything like that, these people were like in wars and fighting and like digging these ditches and farming. Like, I don't know, hard labor.
for sure.
And you work
Even
all
kids
day
would be
long.
doing that.
10 hours a day, 15 hours a day. Like, I don't know, a lot of hours every single day. And you have to do that to survive.
Right.
Nowadays, you go on a computer, you move your fingers.
Either a computer,
And
not
you
even
can be
moving your
rich.
fingers anymore. Now
just
it's on
talk
a
to it.
tablet.
Well, you still
Or-
have to swipe.
Yeah, but then there's like this. You're driven to do this. Next. I've
Yeah, but I don't know if you're going to make money that way.
no, of course not. Or just the driven factor is mostly
Right.
is on that is what I'm saying.
Yep.
But there is not. It's not everybody. There is a percentage.
Absolutely.
And there's absolutely a high percentage also of people that are very driven, that still want to produce and make things and do things and be an incredible exchanging citizen of society and
Yep.
making a difference.
Yep.
So I don't think we should just be like a generality about it, because people are definitely still driven today.
That's true. I met a few people that do like door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
I've been shocked. Pest control, solar, internet. Doesn't matter what they're selling. These door-to-door salespeople,
Yes.
when they do well, they're making 10, 20, 30. I mean,
That's
I know a
a
guy
hustle.
making $50,000 a month, and a guy with a business owner doing more, hundreds of thousands a month in profit,
Right.
knocking on doors. But you know what? Isn't it strange? I mean, I find it strange. Someone goes and it's like, hey, I need a job or something. Like, okay, take this door to door job, and they're like, no way. That's like so low. Would never do that.
But I think that
No?
there could be a percentage.
Have you ever seen someone like that? I'm not gonna take that. Remember, I was talking to a specific somebody like, hey, why don't you just like
yes,
grab
of
some
course,
Uber for
of
extra money?
course,
Like,
of course, I remember this,
"Got an
Aaron.
Uber. How could I? I'm like,
I remember. Yes.
knocking on doors, salesperson. How could I? No,
Yeah, I remember.
isn't it? Like,
But that's okay. I don't think that's everybody,
no, of course not.
right? And I
not.
think that every single person is different, and every single person is driven for different reasons. And I think that whatever somebody wants in their life, they can achieve as long as they have that basic purpose and desire and passion. And if they want it, they'll get it. If they don't want it, then they
That's
won't
true.
get it. If they don't
That's the
have a
key.
desire, if there's nothing that they're working towards or wanting to get, then why are they going to drive? What's going to drive them?
That's a certain point.
If there's no purpose in life for that person, then why is that person going to continue doing it? Or why is that person going to even get up and do it?
For no reason. They'll never do it.
That will never happen.
It's true.
So if everything is provided for that person, then why are they going to get up and move their ass?
Yep.
They're not.
Yep. Yeah, unless they have a purpose.
Right. Unless they have a purpose.
Yeah. Do you know? I just saw this video all about Social Security, the Social Security system.
Oh.
What do you know about it? Do you know about Social Security? How much? Like,
All I know is that like a little percentage gets taken out of your check every single every single pay period.
yes, every working person in the United States.
Every single person, and it goes into a fund in the government that when you hit the age, I think of 65 or 55, I think you can tap into it slightly earlier in some scenarios. I don't know what the caveats are, but I believe there are some.
Yeah.
You get to tap into that Social Security, so then the government basically subsidizes your income and can also pay so that you can pay your rent. But I believe the amount of money that rent costs these days, I don't believe that Social Security is even enough to pay the rent.
No, unless you get like no, it's not. It's not.
So I think it's like a subsidy thing, right?
Yeah, so it's something like that. You pay money, and then in the theory, I guess someone somewhere described it as like that money's saved for you when you retire, but like it's actually not your money. Like your money, like as soon as you send it to the government, it's gone. So then
Right.
you're going to use someone else's money, right? It's like basically the definition, right? Someone pays in the money, and then you're paid off by someone else's money. That's really the definition.
But I thought
of
that they would
scheme,
take it and then they would invest it to make that money make money.
No such thing.
So that money would become bigger, so that by the time those people are old,
No,
that
the government's
money
not
will.
that smart.
I'm just.
The money is gone. That money comes in, and it's gone. If you were going to invest it, you would have to invest it.
But you don't think they have a separate account for all the Social Security money?
No, it's
Are you
gone.
serious?
Yes. No, they don't keep it. Winnie, the amount of money.
I don't believe it. There must be a separate account for Social Security.
Yeah, and the money goes in and then it goes out.
But it would go out for Social Security.
Yeah, let's say, but it's not going to be invested anywhere. Is what I'm saying. That money,
okay.
like Social Security goes in and Social Security comes out, and I don't know what percentage of it goes back to it, but like between government red tape, it's going to disappear. However, here's what I found out,
What?
and it's actually true because it's funny because I saw this video. Okay,
Yeah.
Matt Walsh did this video, talks about Social Security, and he said, listen, there's working families, people who, let's say, I don't know, you have a bunch of kids, you're middle class, you hardly can pay your rent, you're paying Social Security. Now, the people who receive Social Security, okay, a lot of times actually are not even poor.
Right.
Like, you just get it just because I guess you're old. But you could be wealthy, you could be with an income, you could be doing great, and you get the money. So you could be taking like the money from a person who's working, they're just starting out in their life. And typically the older population, actually, if you look at the income and wealth by age, average, the people who are 55 plus are the wealthiest in society, the most wealthy, period.
Oh.
Right, because as you get old, like if you
Because they're able to invest that money.
Yeah, they
over
invest it
time.
from the time.
Even
and this
even
and
if you're
blah,
even if you're a cleaner in a school.
Absolutely.
There was that book that we read.
yes,
Right.
Psychology of Money.
Right. That
There was
book,
a janitor.
That's had his money over time just being paid as a janitor of a school.
In the janitor, yes, the janitor.
He invested a certain percentage of his income every single month, and then by the time he died,
he had $8 million that he gave to charity on the day of his death.
Right.
So he died. Boom, $8 million was in well. And they go, how did this guy have $8 million? Janitor, putting money little by little. All he did was buy what's called like blue chip stocks, like the highest, whatever, most protected stocks, whatever. That's all he did. And he became ultra wealthy, gave all his money away when he died. So, case in point, this guy or anyone else like that, a lot of times people have the most wealth when they're older, but Social Security is like, hey, take all the money from the people who are working and then give the money to the wealthiest section of society, which is the oldest. And then a lot of times it's, and I just met somebody who's making over 6 figures, over 65. And I was like, oh, how much are you making? She told me. And she's like, this much, and then this much from Social Security. And I'm like, well, that's a lot of money. But it's your Social Security. And it's, anyway, I'm not saying, hey, just because you're poor, you should have money, or just because you're rich, you shouldn't have money, or whatever. Like, how the rules are. But the point is that this system exists, and I had no idea up until a week ago that the money went to any income. Right?
yes.
And then I go and find out, like, this really rich old lady is basically making all this money on Social Security.
Because she gave a lot of money also.
In theory. I don't know if it's not like commensurate. It's not like if
How much is she making from Social Security?
It's some amount.
You can't say it?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get too into, but like, I think normal checks are around like $1,000 a month,
Right.
$600 a month,
Right.
$1,200 a month.
That's correct.
I think lowest is going to be like $500 a month, maybe but it ranges. It's a percentage. So if you made like millions and millions and millions, you still only get, I think the max, I don't know what actually I don't really know the system. Anyway, whatever. Point is, there's Social Security. So we're like, hey, screw it. The government will take care of me. And then they don't then take care of themselves and do their own investments. But when you do your own investments, you probably will do better than the government, more than likely. Because the
Yes.
government generally doesn't really know how to invest too well. So their money just seeps and disappears. Anyway, I don't know why we got into this topic, but I just thought it was so interesting because I actually met somebody. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're rich and like they're getting Social Security. Oh wow, like it's really true. This thing that I have seen, you know?
Yes.
Anyway, whatever. Okay. So, what do you think? Like, why do you think there's so many people who in 5-10 years go from zero to being multi-millionaires? And then at the same time, there's people who are saying, hey, it's impossible. The system is rigged. You can never do anything. We're destined to be broken. Like, these two people exist in the same exact scenario. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think is the big difference between like the group that's going to make it and that's maybe not going to make it?
It's all in the state of mind. It's the power of the mind, the mindset.
Yeah.
It's the mindset of the individual. So if the person believes and thinks they can make it, and they're saying that to themselves, and then they're doing actions to make those ideas come about, then they're going to make it. But if a person has a failure and then they give up, just like my little minutia of the scissors, right? So if that was our first product and then we just called it, that's it, because it was a huge investment, $8,000 3 years ago on a freaking mold. Like, that's why I remember it, because it was $8,000 just for the molds, not even for the inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And then it failed.
Mm-hmm.
That was to me, that was like, gosh, that sucked.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a
it
loss.
was like, I think it was like about 4 or 5 years ago, probably, where
Yeah.
we had like less.
Right. And we had less money at that point to continue to reinvest, and we were reinvesting a lot. So basically, I believe that it's just in the mindset. And that's the power of an individual. An individual is more powerful than sometimes that you yourself can even believe yourself. And that we are each one of us are so powerful that we could decide that we can't do something, and then we can't, just because of that decision that we can't. Like, oh, I can never get a 6-pack because of this reason and that reason and this reason, right? But that's the power of the mindset. Or I can decide, yes, I can get a 6-pack, and then go fucking get that 6-pack, right? So also, like, for instance, for me, I was very, very, very into running. At a certain point, I think I got so fast, I did a 23-minute 5K, which is very fast, and I'm only 5'2.5". So I had this idea, I can't really be that fast. I can't be really faster than 25 minutes because I'm so short. But then I was like, no, that's not true. I just have to move my feet faster. I just have to move my legs faster. That's not impossible. That they were maybe going like this before. Now just make them go like this. And yeah, so it's just the power of the mind.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you think?
Well,
why do you think?
I think part of it is, as you said earlier, which is the purpose.
Yeah.
Is why. And more than anything, I'd see agreement, right? Because if I agree, as you're saying, if I agree and I say it is impossible, it cannot be done, then you act that way and you don't even try. You know how many people tell me probably, I don't know my number one question, but one of my top questions is it still possible to sell on Amazon?
Right.
I'm like, of course it is. There's people coming to the market right now heavy, but the majority of people coming to the market right now are Chinese. You know why? Chinese aren't asking, is it possible? They're saying, how fast can I get there? How fast can I do it? How much can we take this market share? And they're going aggressive, not the factories.
The same like how they were with the real estate.
Heavy. They're not asking, can I do it? They're just like, how do I do this next? And you'll see them fail 5, 10, 15 products and then get one that hits and then go heavy and then learn and then get better. And over time, you see the quality of their listings, quality of their images have been going up. Okay. They're not asking, can it still be done? Because it's so obvious it could be done, right? There's so many like press releases and things that have come out that show Amazon is not saturated. There's so many new people coming.
Right.
Every like 3 or 4 or 5 years, something like that, the people who started in that last 4 to 5 years represent always something. So far, it's been like somewhere between 30 to 40% of the sales. So like if you start right now and you keep at it for 5 years, you're going to have an opportunity to take a massive amount of market share. There's publicly traded companies that report their stuff on Amazon. Some of them are going down significantly in revenue, like huge drops. Why? It's not because Amazon is down. Amazon has been up every single year since I've been doing it.
Right.
So if a lot of sellers are quitting, total sales are going up, big companies are going up, what's happening? Well, there's new people coming in and taking those sales.
Right.
So of course it's possible. Of course you can sell on Amazon today. And as you said earlier, it is the best time. It is right now where you have the most opportunity. You have the social media, you have the TikTok, you have the Instagram, you have YouTube, you have this, you have AI, you have whatever. You have so many tools to be able to sell on Amazon. There are sellers that are going to start right now who will be selling hundreds of millions, if not into the billions, well, for sure into the billions over time.
Right.
So there will be selling hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, people who start today and start tomorrow and start this year. And
so the question is that going to be you?
There you go. Is it going to be you? Do you want it to be you? And will you work at it? Will you actually work at it? Some people go crazy and they do well, and then they have one bad month or one bad production batch or one bad relationship or one bad contract or one bad whatever, and they quit.
I know.
It's not going to be them.
So we can't quit on those shears, Aaron.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go right now. Let's go talk to them.
Okay.
Let's go make some kitchen shears.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Excellent. And then I wanted to talk about one last thing.
Okay.
There was this video that David Goggins put up, which I'll put a link maybe somewhere, share it. But he said how it's easier today to be successful than any time in history because people are very soft. And look, it may or may not be true. Okay,
I think it's true.
Maybe it's false. Okay, but let's say I'm gonna assume it's true. Why? Because it's that idea. I say, hey, the competition is
30 years ago, 40 years ago, people were working in farms.
That's right.
They were doing physical labor activity.
Yep.
There was so much factory work in the U.S. We had lots of manufacturing in the U.S. I would say a large percentage of the work that was being done in the U.S. was through manufacturing. And over the years, it has become less and less that way. And we've actually outsourced to China more and more and more over the years. And I absolutely agree with him. We have become more soft. And it's also the social media. Like everybody, we're on the computers. We're on this AV stage. We're in a stage of our lives where everything's like audio, visual, and computers and telephones and tablets and all that. So it's become, okay, how are we going to do it in less time? How are we going to get it done quick fix? Oh, are we going to lose weight naturally, or are we going to lose weight with a shot? The shot is just listen, guys, I was absolutely like getting the shot. What is it called? Ozempic.
Yeah.
And I believe this is kind of probably going to be a little bit of a controversial thing now that I'm bringing this up, but I'll just say what my idea is on this, because I was this close to getting it, and thank God I found out I was pregnant within 24 hours of the time that I was going to get the shot. But what I was going to say is that you can choose to lose weight naturally and like gradually over time through conscious decisions of what you're eating and what you're putting into your body and the quantity of what you're putting into your body. And it's very, very, very simple, because I've done it several times over my life, over the span of my life, of losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, especially with kids, right? So with the last one, I was like not losing the weight, but I also wasn't really doing the work necessary to lose that weight. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to do the shot. It's much easier. I know a lot of people that are doing it. So Aaron's like, no, Whitney, I don't think it's a good idea. I was like, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyways.
That's true.
And but I've done, it's a get skinny quick or get fit quick option, which in the end, it has a detriment to your body. From what I've read, it actually slows down the digestive tract, and not maybe 100% of the people that take this shot will have the situation with this digestive tract situation of being slowed down.
No, that's how it works. That's actually
but
how. That's actually
who knows? Maybe not 100% of the people after they finish, after they no longer take the shot. Okay. Apparently, after you no longer take the shot, in a percentage of cases, you still have your digestive tract slowed down. So then you have other issues with your body that you're creating from taking this shot. Right. So, but at the same time, there's some people that are super, super overweight that it's causing serious physical issues that you have to just weigh your pluses and minuses and pros and cons and do your own research on everything. Yeah. Because every person has their own issues. And all I know is that it was definitely not a good idea for me to have. I didn't take it, thank God, but I was going to. And it wouldn't have been the greatest good for me to do that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been the greatest thing for me and everything that I have in my life. I should have just decided to just be hardcore on myself and lose the weight standardly by following a diet. Anyways, I agree with you.
I think that there is also, there's other case, and some people say how it's so life-saving and this, and it will, people who are so overweight and can't control like that thing, put them in a scenario where they're actually living a much better, healthier life. So, there's two kind of proponents. But regardless, you could achieve a similar thing. Yes, you could achieve a result by not eating. People will tell you how crazy you are. If you're like,
fast.
Do a water fast. Just have water for like
7
2 or
weeks,
3 days.
Or 7 days, I mean.
I don't think there's a person, if you're healthy and you're fed and you're overweight, like in your own sense, and you want to go down, I don't think anybody will have a major adverse, huge effect unless you're handling heavy machinery or something. Like, there's scenarios. But for you to have a water fast for 2 days, 3 days, probably nothing's going to happen to you.
But we're not giving medical advice here.
I'm not a doctor, and I can't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it based on what I'm saying, please. Just don't. But I've done it before. And like, okay, we did the lemonade cleanse. We did all sorts of stuff. But the point is you're taking actions in a direction, and some people will call you crazy and say it's hard and this. But it's like, okay, it's actually a common thing for people to fast or do this. Like, in various cultures and various religions and various things where you just like don't eat and you take control of yourself and you do the job yourself. And people now are like, how could I be this? I can't spend 3 hours without putting something in my mouth. Like, people have that scenario. Anyway, and in terms of work, it's a similar thing. This whole, even the schedule, work schedule, like the 9 to 5, I believe that's like a new thing. Somehow, like, imagine if you didn't have a house and you're like walking out in the fields and you're working all the time. You need to find food, you need to find shelter, you're always doing stuff and working. And even like in China, where they're really growing up as a massive world power, these guys don't have 8-hour work days. They work like 60 hours a week on average, from what I've been told. 60 hours is like pretty standard. Some people do 80, and then they just continue and they just work, and it's like that's how life is. Somebody one day decided it's an 8-hour workday.
I know. So I agree with David
Goggins. So anyway, I think it's easier than ever because there are people.
He's super hardcore. I love that guy.
The guy's ridiculously amazing hardcore, and he's like, listen, it's easier than ever because there's people less disciplined who are not going to do the work now. So is it a good time to sell on Amazon? Yes, because a lot of Amazon sellers, even $1 million sellers, will not do the work, and they get to a certain point and they coast. The rest
Even
of
us. Some of our listings, some of them are not the most amazing.
Yeah,
like everybody has room for improvement.
Sure.
Yeah, we gave up on a product.
Yeah,
those
anymore.
Shares,
though. We're back.
Yeah, now we're
coming back.
Now we're gonna
guys,
fix
be tuned. In like 6 months, we're gonna have some kitchen shears coming out there. Okay, excellent.
Thank you. Thank you, Aaron.
Anything else you want to say?
Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, guys, if you have any questions for us, for me, for anybody else, put the questions down in the comments, and we'll see if we get back to you on one of these next podcast episodes.
Also, if there's somebody that you want us to interview, if you have there's this guy that you look up to, there's women that you look up to that you think that we should interview, put that also in the comments, and we'll reach out to them and work out an interview.
Yeah, exactly. I want to interview more top 100 Amazon sellers too as well. We've had 3 on the podcast, so we want to get to 30, 40, 50 of the top 100 Amazon sellers. That'll be awesome. All right, guys. Bye.
Peace.